and welcome to another video. And I'll be talking about a build that no one has ever talked about, and if I said something wrong, please correct me in the comments below. So I'm showing you this team for one reason. This team is all 4 stars, and it's an insane team. For slot 1, we have Yanfei as our DPS, Yona as our healer and shield. We have Rosaria as our support, and Xingqiu as our support. And why I have Diona and Rosaria together is because if we look at the elemental resonance affected by that's the electro is pretty much useless, and increases your crit rate against opponents that are frozen or affected by cryo by 15%. So if there's an opponent that is affected by cryo, like Rosaria's Q will constantly putting cryo on them. So when the enemies get affected with cryo, they will have the whole party should have a 15% crit rate increase. And now for it doesn't really matter for what build, any single character except Rosaria.
What should I try this time?
If you look at the Blizzard Strayer, you can see that cryo damage bonus that's okay, and the first piece set is the most important one, and it says when a character attacks an opponent affected by cryo, the crit rate is increased by 20%. If the opponent is frozen, crit rate is increased by an additional 20%. And here you can see if any character on the team, it doesn't specify who, attacks opponent affected by cryo, which Rosaria would be constantly putting the cryo on the opponent, their crit rate would be increased by 20%. And the reason why we have Xingqiu on the team is to freeze the opponent. So as you can see, the crit rate is increased by an additional 20%. So when we do this, we get an extra 40% crit damage. No, not crit damage, but crit rate. And if we include Diona in the party, we see we also get, since the elemental resonance, we get an extra 15% crit rate. And with that, you get 55% crit rate, and which is actually really good for Rosaria because she's all about the crit rate. I don't have any good weapons on her because I am free to play, so I don't have deathmatch on her. But or if you have like a crit damage weapon, you can focus all your crit damage on Rosaria. And oh yeah, I wanted to show this. Like with all that combined, it's gonna have a lot of crit rate, so you can just focus on the crit damage. And here you can also include this food. If you don't have TC, you can use D-Look, but you should at least have you should have this and this, at least one of these. But when you have one of these characters, you should cook their food. Like for example, Chi-Chi. I don't know about Dulux, but Chi-Chi's food is the delicious come and get it. If you can get her special dish, it is crit damage 20% increase and crit rate 20% increase. And with that, if you include it on Rosaria, then you can get a 75% crit rate. And if you add Rosaria's E, if there's a small opponent, then you can teleport behind them. And if that's so, then she gets another 12% crit rate. And with that added on to the added on to the total, then we get a total of 87%
to
crit
our
rate.
success.
And as you can see, it's a lot
Ugh,
of crit rate.
what
So
should I try
if
this
you take
time?
Rosaria and you can focus, as I said before, you can focus on the DPS, and I've tested it. This artifact, you can get 20% crit damage, and as you can see, 20% crit damage. Now imagine that on every single artifact you have. So that's 5 times, since there's 5 different slots for artifacts. 5 times 20%, then you get
Ugh,
100%. Your
what should I
default
try
is
this
50%. So now your total crit damage is 150%, and you can include, I don't know the 5-star artifact, but I know the 4-star artifact for crit damage is 46%. So if you add 45%
Don't we have a
onto
job to
it,
do?
then you get 195% crit damage. And if you have something like the blackcliff slasher, then you can increase even more. So I don't know how much exactly, but
Ugh,
let's say it's
what should I try this
30%
time?
crit damage. So if you take that 30, or any pole arm that has crit damage, and let's say it's 30%, just 30%, it's already 225%
To
crit
our
damage.
success.
And that's why this build, I think it's pretty insane, because if you can get Rosaria's Q and Xingqiu's Q, and you can constantly freeze, and which means that Rosaria is gonna have 87 crit rate, and then she's gonna have 225% crit damage. But of course, if you can get higher,
To our success.
even if you can get 30% on your 30% crit damage on basically all your artifacts, and that'd be even more insane. That's why this build is really good. But of course, you might not have any of the No Tomorrows, or I forgot what the other food, but it was Dealing Specialty. But if you don't have those, it's your crit rate is still 67%, which is really high. And if you can get an artifacts like, oh wait, sorry, let me find one. Yeah, see, let's say this 3.9%. Let's just round it down. So this 3%, if you can get it with additional on this, that's an extra 3%. If you can get it on every single artifact, that's 3 times 5, 15% more crit rate. So if you add that on to the 67%, you get 72%, I believe. Yes, wait, sorry, no.
Just like to make people smile.
No, yeah, I think you get 82, sorry. You get 82% crit damage, and you can make that 100% if you have No
Body and
Tomorrow,
mind.
Let me tell you.
which makes this build absolutely insane, because if you can get it, then you get 100% crit rate with insane amount of crit damage. But of course, that is if you can get it. And that's basically my thinking into this overpowered build. But of course, I don't have a lot of resin, and I mean fragile resin. I've really less. So this method is kind of not free to play friendly. It's yeah, I'm not free to sorry, I'm not pay to win, so I can't really showcase it. But yeah, that's basically the insane build. And Diona, oh yeah, I included Diona. So what you can, I included Diona, so she can, of course, for shield and healing. And for Yanfei, I took her on as a DPS.
What should I
For
try
one
this
reason,
time?
it's because sorry, I took her as a DPS because I don't have any other good DPSs. So when Rosaria, let's say if you can get her to, okay, let's say you're in Sprial Abyss, you can't get to 102% crit rate, then you can get it to 82% crit rate. And if you do her Rites of Termination with the talent level 60 Ascension talent, then you can get a 15%, you can apply the 15% crit, no sorry, 15% of Rosaria's crit into Yanfei, and Yanfei doesn't have to focus that much on the
Try your
crit
luck betting on
damage.
Jade?
But since Rosaria's has her Blizzard Strayer and Xingqiu can freeze, and Yanfei will also, since she counts as attacking it, she should get an additional 40%. But I might be wrong on that. I'm not sure because if I read it again, it does say when a character attacks an opponent affected by cryo. It doesn't specify which character, and it doesn't specify only Rosaria. That means the whole party should have the effect too.
I'll remind you again. The
And
law can
that's
be both a
basically
help
it.
and a
But
hindrance.
since Yanfei is going to melt, that's why I have her map in there. And of course, this
What
is
should
a
I
horrible
try
build
this
for me
time?
so far. But the Rosaria and Xingqiu build, I think, is insane. Like, if you can get that, if you can get 102% crit rate, or even 80 something crit rate, is still really good. So that is basically my build for the insane crit rate and crit damage. I just included Deona and Yanfei if you just wanted to know why I included them. And that's basically the build. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. If I made a mistake again, please post in the comment section and tell me where I made the mistake. And please like and subscribe if you think the build was amazing. And I personally think the build is actually amazing. And yeah, see you guys in the next video, I guess. And as always, have a great day.